And my son, I told you that one, said the best
Yeah.
thing I've heard all year, and he said it's not about winning, it's about catching good waves. Welcome to the Insiders. We're nearing the end of November. Hazy and myself are both carrying a bit of fur on the upper lip, and we'll open those lips and get a bit of chin wagging going down, Aussie style or English style. How you going, mate?
Yeah, got a horrible top lip slug that is very uncomfortable, but we're doing it for a good cause, and I
You
won't name
do look
it.
a little bit like a fool, but no, nothing's wrong with that.
I feel like I look more European.
You are European. I just told you I've got listeners. I got Portugal, Uruguay in the background on share screen. Now I'm going for Portugal. Marlo said to me, my son, he said, "Oh, are you going for?" I said, I'm going for Portugal. And he ran into his room and he got out his Portuguese jersey from when we were down there two winters ago. He's got his number on the back of his name.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, they scored.
Oh, really?
Support your continent.
Yeah, support. I mean, I would rather Portugal win it than like a South American team or an African team, just because they're closer to me than, and I've been to Portugal, so um yeah,
I struggle, man. I struggle because obviously I got to try and go for Australia, who never got a chance. I always go for France, who I actually go for probably more than Australia because, like, I've been here 24 years and I love some reason I love the French soccer team. I moved here in 1998 when they won the World Cup, so I've had a special affinity with them ever since. I always go for England because my older brother used to always say to me, "So we're fucking English," because three of my grandparents are from England, and one of my grandparents was Germaner. So if I want to dibble, I can put my foot in both.
yeah.
Oh, that's heavy. Well, I guess it's the same for a lot of Europeans, huh? Isn't it? There must be so many mixed European um, couples.
Definitely, it's like even for me, like not maybe not the football World Cup, but I traveled Australia. I spent a long time in Australia, and I've got like a kind of affection with. So, like for example, the WSL finals day, I was more wanting Jack Robbo or Ethan or Steph to win it over wanting a American or Felipe.
Hey, the Commonwealth.
Yeah,
Support the Commonwealth.
and I fully back Joanne Defay the whole time because I love France, and obviously England. We don't have any surfers in the like for the world tour
Or
yet.
possibly ever will have. No offense, Matt.
Sky Brown will probably be the closest to it,
She good.
and she's not. I mean, that's grasping at calling her English, but
Hey, I nearly said we've got the same queen, and I'll quickly rephrase it to we've got the same king. And I know it's not a football podcast or a royalty podcast, but how's the king going?
probably asking the wrong guy.
Does it change anything of your daily life having a king
Not
instead of queen?
not really, not yet. Obviously the national anthem's changed, and that's weird when you hear it. Not God
Right.
Save the Queen.
What is it?
God Save it's literally the exact same, but God Save the King.
Yeah, fuck, I never thought about that.
Yeah, um,
Pretty sick, really, isn't it?
yeah, it is a bit weird. Um, but
Oh, save the king.
yeah,
Is that
does
the same ring?
no saying it's so weird because like obviously 30 years of my life of knowing it as Queen.
And neither of them surfed or have ever surfed, have
No,
they?
no,
Reckon?
no,
How can you have
not.
that much fucking money and privilege and never have a crack? Never think you'd like to have a crack at having a bit of a surf?
Yeah,
Maybe they're not allowed.
missing out. Definitely missing out.
So
But
what do you got to talk about with surfing? What do we got? What do we got on the schedule?
well,
Hazy. Surely you got some notes there for us.
I got notes. I got notes. I think firstly we need to talk about, well, if we're talking about comps, we need to talk about you getting a ration. Our D-Bro 50 getting a ration this Saturday. I'm pretty inspired by that, if I'm honest.
Oh, it was tragic. Felt tragic.
I mean,
I've had a late
the photos don't look tragic.
no, I've had a late injection of celluloid celluloid glory got sent to me today from this mate of mine. He's a real estate agent across the road from my son's school, and I picked him up and he came home and he goes, "Hey, did you see that?" The comps, man. One of my best mates who's really good surfer and he does the comps occasionally. He said, "Don't take it too serious. The comps have a way of making you try too hard." My missus
Mm.
said, "Just had fun." And my son, I told you that one. So the best
Yeah,
thing I've heard all year, and he said, "It's not about winning; it's about catching good waves." And
yeah.
that's what I thought I did, and I got fucking last in the heat. I was like, how did I was positive I had a score, man. That first wave, I sent you the picture. That first wave, I was like, that was sick. I was positive I was that I had a holder, and it wasn't. And I was talking to this other mate. We were watching the next heat, I think, in the water, and I was going, "Fuck, I got a 1.6 for that," and I was like, "Mustn't have been that good," but it felt good, and I think that's what surfing is,
Mm.
isn't it? It's got
Definitely.
it's what you feel. Fuck, I'd hate to be one of those competitors. I can imagine how tough it is for them. Like people just slagging you, like dudes who like, they might have a funky style and you're going for airs or you're doing something that people don't like and people just slag you off, even though you think it feels good to yourself.
I rewatched Dane Reynolds' electric acid surfboard test, and I think it's one of the best ones because he's surfing like mid lengths and everything. And he says
Oh,
something in that. He says,
wow.
yeah, and he says on it though, he goes, "There's not someone on the beach writing down what board you're on with a speed gun telling you how fast you're going. So as long as it's all about what you feel. Oh, when you're free surfing, like when you're not in comps or even in comps, surfing in general is about what you feel, and that's like I think that's
Well,
massively
hey, that's why we do it, huh? Obviously, winning the world title and get a whole bunch of fucking coin in your back pocket and probably a
yeah.
bit of tootie knocking on your front door and whatever. It's not bad, but that's not what I don't think what you think
No,
of when you first stand up. Unfortunately, I think there are parents or people out there in the world that are trying to influence their children's lives with that. It's not just in football, though, is it? There's parents doing that with violin, ballet, beauty pageants,
100%.
rugby league,
Yeah,
studies.
and
Fucking let
and
your
it's
kids
not
get
even
on
parents as well.
themselves, parents.
It's like loads of people just doing it to themselves. Loads of people are putting themselves through. Like again, I'll take it back to surfing. It absolutely went nuts here today and yesterday for South Coast England, like asterisks next to it. But I saw people trying to surf boards too small for them, too small, not the right boards for those conditions, and they're doing that to themselves.
Hey,
Like
Matty.
yeah, yeah. So you see people like it's weird. They're putting themselves through unnecessary difficulty as such, just to enjoy a surf on a south coast shitty wave. And it's quite funny because then I always get it on a weekend, on the Monday after a weekend where the surf's like kind of big for the south coast. I get so many emails the next day where it's like,
Everyone wants to order a new board. Oh, this is wrong. This is right.
I
This
was,
is wrong.
yeah, it's really good in this, but it really struggled to catch waves or this or that and stuff. And you're like, yep. But and then you try and help it. And then I say to people like, okay, well, you know, get a bit more length, this and that. Like, and they're like, oh, but will I be able to turn it really vertically and stuff? And I'm like, well, you couldn't turn anything vertically when you wasn't catching a wave. So why are you making it harder for yourself? But anyway, we digress. Daz was in a comp at Lenore. We'll put some photos up on our Insta. He sends it, people. Like, he'll play it down, but he's a full-on hell man. Do you know who won? Was there anyone big in the comp?
Vincent Duvignac, the king
Oh yeah,
of
yeah,
the Nord. I sent him a message. He was sponsored by Quicksilver when he was a Grom, and then he went to, who did he go to? Rusty, I think. And then I think he had a couple of years unsponsored, maybe. And then Rip Curl picked him up. Nicest guy in the world, heaviest barrel rider you ever seen. You got some hell pits. But honestly, there's another thing. I'll tell him if I see him.
yeah,
This other guy, like in the surf world, as a surfer, he won the comp because he won the comp. He got a 6 and a 7. But this other dude in the final, Antonen, de Sutre, he got this 10, which was crazy. One of the best tubes ever at Lenore, probably. Yeah, and he was on a 9.0 quad. I was like thinking 8, 9. It was too long, but he got a 10. Like, so really, he's the surfer of the day, wasn't
yeah.
he? Was the
Well,
best wave of the day. I
he's probably
reckon
the
that
one.
they should. I'm going to tell them next year, and I don't think they'll listen to me, but I reckon it should just be best wave wins
Yeah,
in your
that's. Do you know what that ties in really well because
and a thing like that.
that's what I've been re-looking into the Vans Pipe Masters event thing, and that's the thing I think is going to be really good. Is it actually doesn't matter who's in your heat because it goes on a leaderboard, and I think that's actually going to be sick because say for example your thing at Lenore, that guy he would have had 10, and then his backup wave if he got that in the quarters or something and got a 19-point heat, like he wins the day, um, kind of thing, which I think is going to be interesting with the Vans thing.
Well, see,
But
Vincent's just such a high caliber surfer, more than any. I think there was
yeah,
maybe another couple of Groms that were in it that weren't bad, but he was able. He had a 6 already, a 6.5 already, and then he got a good second one. He got a 7. He's able to. He's someone who's able to manifest a 6 or a 7 out of conditions where I just sat out there and waited for 40 minutes.
mm,
And literally, I got like a good bomb at the start, and there wasn't another set and we had an hour. Huh? But
yeah,
I was like, saw a crew underneath going for smaller waves, and I was thinking like, so at one stage I thought, I'm not a circus clown. I'm not just going to go and like chase like what if a good one comes out the back, which was the whole reason why I actually wanted to do it for anyway, because it looked like it was going to be the best day ever, and it wasn't. It was good, but it wasn't the best day ever. It was like photos look good, but there was you go an hour. I got 3 waves in an hour,
mm,
and one of them was super shit. Another one was a barrel that kind of pinched, but I'm glad I don't do that often.
yeah,
And now it looks like we've got a super good forecast coming, and it's going to
mm,
get cold finally.
yeah, yeah. We've got it's actually been pretty mad here. We've had pretty consistent good surf, as I say, good for the south coast of England.
Yeah, I guess you guys do you get decent surf when we get those full frontal smashes on us.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like there's been a couple of blobs, and there's one more on the way on like wrapping in, and Cornwall and like North Devon and stuff has been going absolutely off its tits.
So
And
when it cleans up for us and cools down, and we get small. Hopefully, it looks like we get some fun waves for once. It'll mean it'll maybe go flat towards where you are.
mm, yeah, it's petering out. We got tomorrow's gonna be tomorrow could be like all time. For like how clean it is, it's gonna be like offshore
What
4 foot.
board you going to have?
I don't know. Um, I got a new surfboard. It could be a bridge into that. I managed after a long time. of waiting to get a Morning of the Earth, Simon Jones,
Oh,
tracks, Fuji,
a
and
twin,
yeah,
the
channel box.
Fiji, the
Yeah,
Fiji called.
6'2", 19 and 3/4 by 2 and 5/8, and I surfed it Sunday. And weird, actually, first 20 minutes, I couldn't work out where I needed to be on it to paddle it. Like,
So that's the one you'll sell me.
so what?
That's the one you'll sell me at one stage.
Probably not. Um, I get too attached to them. But after 20 minutes or so, the first 20 minutes, I couldn't work out where to be on it to paddle like into a wave. I went for a couple and the nose was dragging through. Went for a couple and it was like I was too far back. And then I just clicked into this one wave and oh shit, I've done 2 turns. I've never turned a board like that before. And the speed it carries, I was like, boy, it was very, very good.
So
Tomorrow,
you're really happy.
tomorrow I'll probably surf that again. Um, or I want to take my 6'5" album Disorder, but it's at home and I have to go to work with my dog and I can't get the board in the car with him. So I keep a selection at work and the Morning of the Earth's at work. So I'm going to take that
I'd
probably.
like to go disorder one day as well. It's funny you're
Yeah.
talking about twins because I sent a message to. I'm going back to Australia in February, and I sent a message to um, Neil Purchase Jr.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
because I've always wanted one of his boards, and he might have this twin for sale for me if it's still there when I go, and it's a 6'6", it's a 6'6" twin, but I think it might be a tint. It might not be a bit big, but he's I think thicker than me.
I can, I'll have a word with Nathaniel at Album. Whereabouts will you be?
Oh, if he could lend me one, I can get down to the Goldie pretty quick, easy.
Yeah,
Where's he on the Goldie? Yep.
yeah,
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 yeah. I'll come in and say good day.
yeah. They're sick. Um, I'll have a word.
Fiji, there it is. That's a triple stringer looking thing.
Yeah, mine's not triple stringer, but
You get a
it's
6'2". They don't have size examples, do they?
I think if you click into it, um,
So
you do.
it's a versatile board.
Yeah, it was made for like waves of consequence, but then you
Well,
can
that's why
say,
they call it Fiji, mate.
mm, but it's
Huh?
fast, it's
They
rapid.
didn't call it. They didn't call it Huntington.
It's quite like the goat. The
The
ghost.
Manly, the
It's
Manly,
mm, it's
the
it's quite like
Wittering.
it's quite like that ghost that I gave you, and then you managed to secure off that guy. The outline of it's quite like that, but it's a twin fin with the channels, and yeah, it's sick. Anyway, so that's probably
Oh, you
what.
got the channels on it. It's got channels.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it is nice. It's like, yeah, I don't know if I'll
What
sell that
size
one.
fins you got on it? What size fins you got on it?
I've got this. So I started geeking out on fins and fin can because I'm futures all the way. I'm like futures, 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 and I've got the Son of Cobra twin fins on it because they've got a 7.5 degree can. So because I was a bit worried that because the channels are quite deep on it, I was worried that they'd give it a bit too much hold in in South Coast UK surf where it's not that powerful. So I put more cant, a fin with more cant on it to loosen it up.
That's supposed to loosen it up.
Yeah, it loosens it up, and it felt loose. Like you could just flick it, and it was just like, oh, it was just real dreamy to surf. I really
So
enjoyed it.
what are the really straight ones? I want a really straight.
Yeah, so
St-
um, Pukas do a really straight one, and also the Rastas. I think the Rastas are like a 4.5 degree cant.
Isn't the raster a 2 plus one?
He's got two sets, I think.
Oh, okay.
Um, Also, I think Naked Viking Surf, their ones, they do one. MVS do one that's quite upright. Yeah, it's good at Apex. Proper
What
geeked
about
out
that?
on things. It's
What about the Rob Machado one?
But the Black Sticks,
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
they've got so this is honestly this is where I get really geeky on it. So they've got a massive inside foil, so they're really speed generating. And Black Sticks are flexy, so they're not that stiff.
I wouldn't want that.
Um the um there's one called Zach Flores. Zach Flores has one that's not got that much cant. Um and the Rasters and yeah, the actual Lorenz, the Pukas one, isn't. I think it's like a 5 degree cant, but it's quite a stiff construction. Anyway,
I was more keen on a quad anyway, so I'm trying to stay clear of the twins.
yeah,
I'm not
um,
happy. I'm not happy with twins. Everyone can like what they like, and that's the good thing about surfing.
yeah. Um, Moving on quickly.
Moving right along.
Did you did you manage to watch? Because Stab had it live for 48 hours. Did you watch Gravity, John's new film?
Yes, yes, I did.
Holy fucking shitballs! Um, it
It
just
was
reminded
really
me.
good, but I'm wondering. I This isn't a criticism, but but I wondered. Have I seen this before? I think it's just because he's like his level of surfing, even honestly, even 4 years ago, I reckon, was similar to what it is now.
Yeah,
It's just, but no, I get it's just a different sort of waves.
it just made me like remember like actually yeah, no one on the planet's
He's the
close enough.
best. He's untouchable, isn't he?
Yeah,
How's the airs he's doing, man? The
the
airs.
airs, it's that's the thing is
That
the
was
waves he
post
does.
knee
Yeah,
operation, pre tweak.
yeah. He's and I watched it and I was like, you could take every airwave out of that and put it against any clip of anyone doing an air. Like
Yeah,
people
made that.
people were saying that Ethan Osborne's air in that Billabong movie was the best one ever done and stuff. And I'm like, John's just done like six in his clip that
Yeah,
is
yeah.
these, and then
That's
he's
just that's just stab quote crew
yeah,
quoting themselves.
and
That's
then
they're funny like that.
yeah, that's something I want to bring up with you actually. And then his barrels are just mental barrels, and then his big wave stuff's just mental. Um, I
His
thought it was
pipe
sick.
stuff's fucking insane, man. With
Yeah,
his brothers, they're just fucked up. The three of them. Fucking
they are.
imagine. They just, I don't know. It's ruthless. I watched it on an average day. Like the average Joe punter, that we've got no idea. That's the problem because, like, I mean, I've seen good 10-foot barrels here for 20 years, and they're gnarly, man. They're gnarly. But you fall like if someone takes off on one and the dudes on the jetties and stuff, they got the jetties and stuff, but they're still landing on water and they've got a good chance of penetrating. And then obviously it's hard to come up sometimes when it's bigger. It's a different sort of thing. But there, man, there's fucking nothing underneath them.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
it
taking off
literally
blind, paddling into it, taking off blind, nothing underneath you except big solid,
is
like jumping off a second story building.
yeah,
And there being a little trampoline there and hoping you land on the trampoline.
yeah, and like literally, like there's like a reef with spikes out and holes in it and stuff, and they're just playing with it. Like he's literally just playing with it, and
See, when he gets shocked, so shocked that he nearly gets blown off his board on the spit out.
yeah,
And then by the time he gets his feet and his balance back, he pulls into this second little runner, which was a hell pit. And I was thinking, like, how stoked you'd be in life if you just got that second little runner, which was like a 1 out of 10 compared to his 9 out of 10 out of the back.
it made me realize there's a reason why he has weird facial hair, and I think it's because it just
It's
constantly
flat
gets
off.
blown off by like spit from pipes, just constantly just rips chunks of his facial hair out because yeah, he's nuts. It just made me realize I was like, you wouldn't in the music world when like Adele drops an album,
Or
you
Michael Jackson came out with Thriller.
yeah, whatever. You don't want to
You weren't
you
even
don't want
born
to be
then.
dropping an album at the same time. And I noticed
Ah,
John put this out, and like if I was someone else like who had a edit and was like, I'm about to release it, I'd be like, hold off, just
fucking
wait,
wait for a month.
because you're gonna get compared to it, and then it's gonna be like I listened to Ain't That Swell, and apparently Noah Dean's got this mad thing coming out. Um,
I want to see that.
and
But
oh
we'll
yeah,
see it when we get to it.
I really like
Hey,
Noah Dean,
I
but
want to talk about the Haleiwa Pro, but you wanted to bring up, and we'll quickly just spruik on the Costa Rican Red Bull thing
yeah,
because I had a little comment about that one.
because that to me, like I think that the Costa Rica one, because I just watched the Brazil one as well, which is very good, but the Costa Rica one, I thought it was sick. Like I thought the way that they told the story of the area and the wave and everything about it. That
I
was one
thought it
of
was
the best things.
fantastic. You don't think there's somewhere a worry how they kept saying how it's a fantastic place that's just been stayed untouched and that's gonna not make it untouched anymore?
Yeah, I think it's okay because
Too hard to get there.
afterwards I found out it's a 16-hour drive.
Yeah, it's a mission. I told Leon. Leon stayed in our house a couple of times because he's sponsored by our group, and he was like, "Come on over, Darren. It's the best place in the world for a family." And I was going, "How do you get there?" And he told me, and I was going, "Man, you don't know what it's like fucking traveling with the family. There's no
Nah,
way in the world I'm going there."
yeah,
No, I'd like to.
16-hour drive, and I think he said like I think in a podcast Ashton said only like half of it is now still proper roads and stuff. It's just
From
like
Europe, that's 2 days to get there.
yeah,
So
that is.
if you go
I
for
mean,
2 weeks,
do you
that's
want to
10
be
days of
going?
holiday and 4 days of traveling.
Plus, and no disrespect to people down there and stuff, but do you want to be in the middle of nowhere? Like, what do you do? You drive for 8 hours, and then you obviously going to need to go. You're going to need to sleep and stuff. Where do you stay? So I don't. I think with that one, I don't think it's going to have a massive effect on it. But as a
Potentially,
left,
no.
the, and
That's
I didn't really even care for the
People
surf.
see that wave. Young guys will see that wave. They'll go there. I'd go there if I was a goofy footer.
If I was goofy for it, I'd
Go
be.
there as a backside.
If I
I'd
was
still go
Silent
do
Jack,
100 fucking Rios.
yeah, Silent Jack's
Maybe
goofy,
not 100.
and he would be. I'd be like, just go, just
Hey,
walk.
by the way, how sick was Brazil? And I read some dude goes, gee, that's so different, which it is. It's so different to what you always hear, which just
Yeah,
goes to show, it doesn't go to show, is why the fuck did they always have it in different spots, which is sucky?
I know.
Where they were, the waves looked hell fun,
Yeah,
looked clean, the food looked great, and the people looked hip and fucking cool and core.
yeah,
Like I'd
and
literally love to go there. That looked unreal.
like putting on wetties and getting up early and like
And
stuff.
honestly, like they had a wetty on. A couple of them had wetties on, but I don't think it was that cold.
I mean, it was free twos, so it's not.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
you're wearing a sweat, yeah, it's like just be chilly.
chill off, but still,
Yeah.
yeah. But I would say just like the last one's in Israel. I'm yet to watch that. I'll probably watch it the next couple of days. But like, I think it's sick, and I think what Ashton Goggins has done with it and Red Bull and stuff is I think it's a really good little 6-part episode, and I think I'd highly recommend it.
Israeli one you watch will be sick, man.
Oh,
I've been
100%.
there. I went there with my frozen shoulder though. I was fucked. I could have surfed. I could have surfed watching the Gaza Strip when I was there. There was good waves, man. There was like 4 foot waves at this place, and there was no one out. I don't know why there was no one out. I think there was spots where there must have been heaps of people out elsewhere, but there was this kind of weird slab. I was in this crazy weird hotel that was empty. It was empty. It was this massive hotel out in front of the ocean,
Mm.
and it was empty. Like it was sick. I think it was because it was winter. Maybe in summer it's crowded, and and like I could see the Gaza Strip. It's pretty gnarly. Like every apartment
Yeah,
block, every apartment has to have a bomb room. Uh,
that's
and
madness.
yeah, and like they're core surfers, and the food is fucked up. It's epic.
Yeah, I think
Like I think the
I'm
food would
excited
be
to
in
watch
Brazil.
yeah, and the food in Costa Rica with like burritos are my favorite thing ever, and that Leon Glacier is just literally like having 5 burritos a day in between surfs. I was like, that's heaven to me. If that was a right instead of a left, and I had just burritos on the way there, I'd be like, I'm in dreamland.
And it shows how fit they can be, even though his 5 surfs might have been only 1 hour surf each. That's still 5 hours.
That's
I
a lot,
reckon he surfed like 8 hours. Like, but in hot belting sun, they'll rip it into you.
especially when you're surfing the way he surfs it as well. He doesn't exactly just stand there and trim down the line. He goes
Nice.
full ham on it.
So,
Um,
all right, Hazy, videos aside, let's get down to the nitty gritty of the comp scene, which we're just entering what was used to be my favorite period of the year to watch comps because they'd be like Harley, the Triple Crown. I'm
yeah,
still gutted. It's finished, even though we're kind of lucky because we got that pipe one coming up, but we'll get to that. That'll be a separate episode. We've got Harley Eva, which is an absolute ball terror of a comp if there's waves, and if there's not waves, it's better than Huntington.
mm,
So I don't know. I'm hearing mixed reports. I heard one podcast say that it was going to be crappy, and then I heard the WSL site say it was going to be sick. But you just can't trust them for the money they're printed on, can you? Can you?
nah.
Can you trust them?
I
They're just full of shit.
looking at the
So
forecast.
fingers crossed it's going to be all right.
Looking at the forecast, I haven't got high hopes. I think it's going to be a bit grindy. Um,
Oh,
and
listen to this for a weird forecast on the Surfline site. Thigh to stomach waves.
okay,
Thigh to stomach. Can't they just say knee
but
high to
how
what?
does that work? Because I'm 6'3", right?
Between
And
your thigh and your stomach, there's going to be a wave.
but my mate Ryan is like 5'6".
A midget.
Yeah,
Sorry, Ryan.
but so if it's stomach high on him, that's or stomach high on me, that's not stomach high on him.
Yeah, well, they're talking about, we don't know.
It's just
Who's some
stupid. There's four Surfline and Magic Seaweed
give
just
us
need to be
just give us a statistic.
idiots.
Well, they're saying Tuesday is 1.5 to 2.1
Meters.
fair to good. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Surfline's pretty fucking, I don't know why. They were spot on when I was in Hawaii, man. They're saying Tuesday's
But how does that
1.5.
equate to? How does a 1.5 meter wave equate to a thigh high or stomach high
No,
wave?
that was today. Today's Monday.
Okay.
Tomorrow's Tuesday when it starts. They got a swell coming in, as my old man used to say. They've got a bit of a swell running.
Yeah,
So they reckon it's going to be cooking, which will mean that it's like one of the best comps fucking ever to watch. Who's going to
hopefully.
win? John Johnson in the who's going to win the men's?
Um, I'm gonna go dark horse and say Morgan Sibilic.
Oh, that'd be sick, wouldn't it, Morgs?
I reckon
Well, he's
Morgan's
going
gonna
to
win
need.
it.
He needs a
Needs a good
semi-final.
result. Yeah.
He needs a good result because he's over consistent. I'm gonna I'm gonna say front horse would be Zeke or John, and dark horse will be Liam O'Brien or J.O. Chianca.
Mm. I'm gonna
I'm
yeah.
wondering if they didn't gift J.O. Chianca a bit of a couple of heat wins in Brazil to get him back on tour because people like him and he kind of got stitched last year. Who knows?
I thought he was the best surfer in the Brazil comp, like from where he's surfing the wave. I thought he deserved his results,
But there you go. You reckon he didn't get stitched, so that's good.
I think yeah, my
Oh, they've got a cracking forecast, man.
that's good.
Cracking.
So I would say if I was picking three people, I'd go Morgs. I'd go John. You can't not say John. You're an
You
idiot if you
cannot
don't.
say John.
And I think I would also look at Leo.
Oh, Leo's going to go good, that's for sure. I'd love to see Jacob Wilcox win it.
Yeah, but
Out of all
backside,
the
isn't it?
underdogs, I hope he gets through.
Backside for Jacob Wilcox is going to be scary.
Oh,
But
he's good out there, backside, man. He's
and
good.
and I think
Mark
Betty Lou's going to win the women's.
Betty Lou, she could. She's from there. She could. She could be swinging in with one of those wonky donkey Betty Lou.
Oh yeah, I
No,
forgot that she's a bit wonky.
I
Yeah.
reckon I'd love to see Liam O'Brien win it too, and I reckon he's got the style for that wave. Wired.
Yeah. I haven't looked
Charging.
at. I'll be completely honest. Unlike me, I haven't looked at the full heat draw, so I don't know if people like Jacko Baker are in it and people like that.
I don't think so. I don't think that there's a bit of talk from the Seppos. I don't think Ethan Osborne can roll
He's
through
got to
that
do.
crowd.
He's got to do a lot. I'd love to see him on tour. I'd absolutely love to see Ethan on tour, but I think he's got too much to do.
If Carissa's in it, I can't. Oh, I
Bet
reckon
he lose
Macy
smoke
Callahan.
last year.
I reckon she's on the top. I reckon Macy Callahan's got a good style for that spot, and I also reckon that they're easy picks that Molly Picklum and Katie
Yeah, Molly's a good shout.
through.
Yeah, Molly's a really good shout. Just looking at the draw,
She charges too, man. She charges, so that's kind of.
Canoa's in
Uh,
it.
it just depends on how good it is.
Another dark horse. I'm just looking at the people in it as well. Canoa's in it. Crosby Colapinto could
Oh
be
yeah, he's
very
good
good out
there.
there.
He's good there, but I just think he's too goofy to go good in a comp for some reason. I don't know
Griffin
why.
Griff's in the comp. Mateus Hurdy's in it.
Oh, double E's in it, man. Who's
How
going to
bad is
stop him?
that? Liam O'Brien and Morgs are in the first heat or in the round of 64 against each other. It's a stacked heat. Like even like Ryan Callanan or Frederico Moraes. There's a lot of good people in it. I think it's going to be
Ethan
a sick event.
Ethan Ewing's in the comp too. He could see. I didn't know that he could just easily win that. Huh? With his front
100%.
side gaff.
If it's clean and decent enough size, yeah.
Well, even if it's 4 foot Hawaiian style, it's not Trestles, man. He was the best. Everyone said last year. It's still this year, huh? Not even
Yeah.
last year. It feels like it was last year. Frontside, he was nearly the best surfer of the year. So this is a frontside wave for him with power, and I think he's got as much. I don't think anyone's got more power than him,
Nah.
honestly.
And the timing he's got and if he's got a wave in Hawaii that's going to match his power and push back, then he's going to be super dangerous. That draw is actually better than I thought.
With that heat 14, Liam O'Brien and Morgan's a bit like.
Well, hopefully they
Even
both get through it. If they get
I'm a Kalani man, he can even if you can say his name, you know he's good.
you might Kalani DeVault.
Yeah, he's good there.
Which is probably really wrong.
And also Frederick Moraes is pretty good there as well, even though he's probably not as exciting as the others. He smashes it, which is what you need to do. I saw someone else. Yeah, Joanne rips, mate. Duru, the Frenchman. And he's on the
sick.
cut, huh? He's made the final there before, huh?
Yeah,
He's got
sick.
the biggest backhand hack you can have. And really smooth and fast. And so there's another dude, Ian John Teal, but we can't pick them all.
Nah.
Huh?
Just means it's going to be a good event.
I'm going for Liam O'Brien and John. And in the girls, I'm going for Macy Callahan. So bring it home.
I stick with Morgs and I'll stick with Betty. So yeah.
It's funny, huh? Because like they've just got this one comp, and then if you're a young on the Challenger Series and you're not really sponsored hard, boom, you've got to go to Hawaii. Hopefully, someone's going to share a room with you somewhere. Like, it's all good if you're one of the spono dudes who's in a house for free, but it's a
Yeah.
pretty, apart from petrol, it's a pretty exy place to be, huh?
Mm, yeah. But I'm sure they all get looked after, and they do extra work over there and stuff like that, don't they? So
Such a weird country where it's all set up so you can drive around cheaply, but then you can't eat.
yeah, yeah.
You can drive as far as you want, but like just make sure they make good coin there
Pack your
somehow. I guess
sandwiches.
the sandwiches.
I said, pack your sandwiches.
Oh, you pack your sandwiches, all right. I'm telling you, you go to the supermarket and you get wounded.
Mm, harpooned.
Hey,
Okay, so
so hopefully we're going to get some guests on sooner. I asked me young mate Rio Wader if if he'll come, and basically listeners, we're doing our best to get guests, but
yeah,
but
we got a couple in the
unlike
pipe.
you, listeners who are loyal to us, other people don't yet recognize how integral we will be to their careers. So
Doing
fuck
that.
them. And when they
Yeah,
come on, they're our best mate. But until
exactly.
then,
Fuck 'em.
we hope you lose.
That's why we're back in that's why Jackson
Lose
Baker,
and slag them off for their bad style.
Jackson
Good
Baker and Victor Bernardo for the world tour next year.
on you, boys.
Well, with that, quick wrap of do's or don'ts because I've actually got.
Oh, I got some crackers.
So do I. And I need to get this off my chest as I've got one that's I'm not I'm very ashamed of myself. So as I said, got this new board, Morning of the Earth board, beautiful looking thing, and I waxed it up Saturday night before Sunday surf, and I won't
Did you
lie,
put hey, did you put a base coat on?
yes, I always put a base coat on, but
Base
on the top
solid.
coat, on the top
Yeah.
coat was the problem. I cared more about having a really thin bead of wax that looked really good than how much grip I had. And after surfing for about 45 minutes on Sunday morning, where it was like I was on a bar of soap, and I was paddling next to my mate Ryan, and I was like, oh, I hate myself. And I promised everybody, I said I'm going to say this on the podcast because I'd happily throw someone else under the bus for this. But today I went into work and I got my freeboards that are there, and I just got sparking cold wax, which is the stickiest, like the best wax I think. Anyway, and I just
Send us some for a test. Tell them to send me some.
I'll send you some, but I caked it on, and then went for a surf today, and it was super grippy. So my don't is don't be an idiot and wax your board based on how it looks and the bead. Wax it because it's actually grippy. And I had written in my notes, and this was before we started the thing. My do is for everyone to be more like Milo, your boy, because when you messaged me saying
Marlow, not
Marlo,
Milo.
Marlo,
That's chocolate milk.
um,
That's a chocolate milk.
it is, yeah. Well, do be more like Marlo, where he said, don't worry about winning, just get good waves. Like that's all time for a
That's
Grom.
that's that's a life motto for me now.
Yeah. So that's my do and don'ts. Hit me with yours, and then we can sign off.
Well, the wax one's funny because I swung does disasters. I swung around the other day for this wave, and from sitting to swing to go in, and the board just slipped fucking
Oh,
between my legs, and out like a rocket, a half ejaculated piece of fiberglass. So then I've pulled it back quickly, jumped on, and I had to kind of paddle to get to the wave, and I should have just let the wave go and said, like, you idiot, but like jumped to my feet and then it was stiff offshore and it kind of airdropped down to the bottom
Mm.
and ate shit. I can't remember if I made it and then I ate shit, but I had a couple there where I ate shit and fuck, so wax the board, man. It's so heavy. And what's me
So,
don't get fucking wrapped up in your own mind. Like I was like, wow, it was shit. And then the next day I went and surfed 3 hours, there trying to get a good one. Because that afternoon I went looking everywhere for surf and we couldn't. It was too big. It was pumping offshore, man. Like, and there
mm.
was nowhere really doable except for this one spot in front of my wife's work, which was 2 foot and packed and crowded. So I oversurfed. I surfed for 3 hours trying to redeem myself to myself, and I've kind of got a sore shoulder and neck and everything because I overdid it.
Yeah,
It's not don't have to worry like what you said earlier. Just fucking have fun. Have
that's it.
fucking fun.
That's it.
It's a pretty hard thing to do in a crowded
Ultimately,
world of surfing, though. I tell you.
ultimately, it boils
So
down
if
to
I,
the fact that it's you have the memory of the waves and stuff, and you have the feeling that you hold on to. And the reason why we're all addicted to this shit is because you get that feeling and you're like, holy shit, that felt good. I want it again. I want it again. I want it again. And it's not like you don't get addicted to, oh, here's a good photo of me, or oh, I bought a 6.0 just because I can. It's the feeling, and what we're all addicted to is actually the everything in the ocean, which is when
I
no,
think people really got to try and do everything possible in every bit of their existence to try and surf by yourself as much as you can because there's
yeah,
nothing better. I used to get razzed by my mates because I just wouldn't answer my phone and wouldn't tell them where I'm going. But there's nothing. And I got this off Mick. Yeah, if he's listening, is surf by yourself, man, because it's like fuck. It's just glory.
I
It
was,
doesn't matter.
I
It's
used
just
to, I used to always be like, oh yeah, the surf's pretty good, but no one else wants to come, so I don't know if I could be bothered and stuff. And now I'm the opposite. Now I'm like today I surfed on my lunch today, and because like the people I usually go surf with are also at work with me, I'm like, right, I'm going surfing. They're still at work. I'm out there on my own, and I love it. Like I
it's the
really,
best.
yeah. So
I do
yeah, they're
everything
good.
in the world I can to surf by yourself because you got no one else's paddling near you. You don't have any interior wars. You can just sit there and think about how fucked your life is and and or how good it is. If you're a winner, if you're not
Exactly.
like us. Hey?
Yeah.
So have a good week, listeners, and come on, swell.
Score some waves. Download this. Share it with everybody, and
And
we'll
if
be
you're
back soon.
European, get out your rubber.
Yeah. Get out.
And
Get
I
your
don't mean the
reflexes
horizontal rubber. I mean for getting horizontal
out.
on your board. Yes. Good
Get
night.
it all out. Take care, mate.